See what time it is? It's time for an unplanned home library reorganization. Let's get to it. Hello my friends, welcome to my channel where we're all about books, reading, and cozy wellness. Welcome to the first home library reorganization of 2026, which technically took place in 2025. So, I mentioned that this was an unplanned home library reorganization, and that is because my sweet partner, he surprised me the day after Christmas with a brand new bookshelf, which was very much needed because I had all the books for my book advent calendar and stacks of books waiting for a home. So, I got a brand new bookshelf, and that meant it was time for a huge reorganization. So, I had not planned to do this quite yet. I was going to do this at the end of January, but the end of December sounded so much better to get all my new books to a brand new home. So, without further ado, enjoy my home library reorganization. Awkward. It's good. It's just fired up.
chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
As you saw, I reorganized my entire home library area, got a brand new bookshelf, I split things up, and now that everything's all organized, I think I owe you guys a tour, so let's check it out. Perfect, so we're going to start on the side of the room that you guys know and love already, which is this wall with all my white bookshelves. It may look similar because I did not move the bookshelves, however, the books are completely reorganized, and this wall is now completely my physical TBR. Yeah, it's huge. Let's dig into it, shall we? So, as you guys can see, this is my to be read shelf. I have a sign right here that you know that this whole wall needs to be read. I have it split up into genre, and then I have it split up into subcategories of each genre. So, first up is over here, we have this huge full bookshelf. Of course, we have all the plants and knickknacks on top. And then everything from here down is fantasy. Yep, these are all fantasy books. So this top shelf we have over here, just a little stack. This little stack is the fantasy series that I am in the middle of. These are like the next ones I need to read that I have not gotten to yet. And then all of these up top here, these are all books that I believe are standalone fantasies from what I know. Moving down the shelf, we have a whole bunch of pretty thick hardcover books. These are all fantasy novels where I only own the first in the series. I have not started the series yet. I only own the first in the series. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I have the first in the series. I need to start the series. They're all on this shelf. Moving down to the next shelf, this is also fantasy series, but these series are ones that I own more than one book in the series, so I might own 2, I might own 3. So these are ones that I own several books in the entire series are here, so when I want to tackle them, I know I have a couple in the series that I already own to read. And then finally, the bottom shelves are pretty much series where I own the entire series, so like the Throne of Glass series, I have the entire series waiting to be read. There are also series that I have like box sets of, so they're just heavier ones, so they had to go on the bottom. Moving over to this next bookshelf, this top section here is all romance books. So of course we have the plants on top. Then we have our romance books. So this first part of the romance books, these are all standalone romance books, so they are just single stories. Moving down to this shelf, now these ones are the romance books that are series. So they might be series that I have already started, or they might be series that I have not started. I own several of them. I might own only one of them, but they're romance series. Moving down to the bottom shelves, these two bottom shelves are actually thriller novels. So these are all my mystery thriller novels that I have yet to read. You'll see that half of these are wrapped up over here. I'm planning on doing a unwrap a book every month challenge this year. So every month I'll be unwrapping one of these books and reading it as part of my TBR, which is why some of them are wrapped. And then the rest of these are all just thriller novels. They're just organized based on when I think I'm going to read them. I think I'm going to read these ones sooner than I think I'm going to read the ones down here on the bottom. And finally, we move over to my little bookshelf over here. So this little bookshelf is kind of miscellaneous genres. The top are just 2 books that I want to read soon in January, just in general. So those are just some books that I plan to get to soon. And then moving down to the first actual shelf These are all my historical fiction books. So we have a bunch of Kristen Hanna, we have Fable, we have a bunch of miscellaneous historical fiction, and we also have my short stories volume 0 for my book of the month. All of those that I still need to read are on the shelf as well because that's just where they fit. Moving down the shelf, these are all my kind of contemporary fiction or miscellaneous fiction books. So these ones are ones that don't necessarily fit into any of my other genres. So maybe like women empowerment or just something completely miscellaneous. All of that kind of contemporary miscellaneous fiction is on the shelf. And then finally, the bottom shelf are all the non-fiction books that I still need to read, as well as my Calvin and Hobbes comic book set. I need to finish that up, so I just kept that there for now. And then just like a box of trinkets. And that is my entire to be read half of my bookshelves. Now, in the past, we would turn around the corner and there'd be another bookshelf right here. That is not what it looks like anymore. Behind me now is my little desk office area. So I'm gonna be facing the window, doing my little office area. And yeah, that's no longer a bookshelf. It is now my office area and my kitty post. And then we turn another corner where my desk used to be, and bam, we have more bookshelves. So all of these bookshelves are my already read books. So they're all split up into genres and subcategories, but all of these books behind me, I've read them all. So let's check them out. Starting in this corner, so we just wrap our way around, we have my romance shelves. So over here is just miscellaneous books like photography books and hiking books, but we get right into the romance. And the top here are some of my favorite romances, as well as all of my romance series. So just romances that come in a series, they're all here lined up. I have a bunch that are also like my favorite authors: Emily Henry, Abby Jimenez, Lynn Painter, Allie Hazelwood, all just lined up here on the top. And then moving down to the next level, these are really just other miscellaneous romance books. All of these ones right here are my romance books from when I was young in like high school. These ones right here are all my dark romance books. These ones right here are all my miscellaneous romance books that didn't fit up top. And then the ones back here are all like holiday romances. They're mostly fall, Halloween, Christmassy romance books. Moving down to the next level. Actually, the next two levels are all non-fiction. We have a bunch of like autobiographies, as well as self-growth books are all lined up here. And then here we have all my poetry books, so my Courtney Peppernell, as well as my couple other poetry books. And then right here we have my short story volume 0s from Book of the Month that I have read. Moving on to the bottom, we just have miscellaneous like health books on the bottom here. Again, a bunch of personal growth books here. And then finally we have some books for my studies. Moving to the big bookshelf. This bookshelf is all fantasy. Yes, fantasy. Don't worry, because it is split up quite interestingly. So this top shelf is young adult fantasy novels. A lot of them are ones that I've read recently as an adult. So like the Prison Healers trilogy, the Letter of the Pirate King trilogy, as well as some of my other young adult novels that I read when I was younger. Down the shelf, we have a bunch of my fantasy series that are lined up. These are mostly duologies or series that I'm in the middle of. We also have a bunch of standalone fantasies right here, as well as some cozy fantasies that have very pretty edges. Moving down the shelf, this is my shelf of favorite fantasies. So this has my Court of Thorn and Roses, my Fourth Ring trilogy. It has my The Spell Shop, The Enchanted Greenhouse, it has Quicksilver, I'm still reading Brimstone. A couple ones that are going to be series that haven't come out yet, such as like Shield of Sparrow. So basically just all my favorite fantasy novels from when I'm an adult. Moving down, these last two shelves are fantasy novels from when I was a teenager, so young adult fantasy novels. Bottom shelf is all Harry Potter. It's all Harry Potter, so the bottom shelf is my Harry Potter shelf. And then moving up, we have all of my favorite fantasy series from when I was like a young adult, teenager, etc., which is like Twilight, The Hunger Games, all of my Shadowhunters series, The Selection, all of that good stuff. So that is this whole fantasy shelf. And then moving on to our final shelf, we have thrillers. So these are all the thriller novels that I have read, at least the ones that I still own. I got rid of some a while ago, which I should have kept, but Alice, what can you do? But honestly, these are kind of just organized based on author, and then I have organized just kind of color-coded, just for fun, because I didn't know how else to do it on a standing bookshelf like that. And yeah, those are my bookshelves of books I've already read. I feel like this reorganization not only kind of expanded my library, obviously, but it also makes it look so much neater and so much more organized. I feel like it was kind of messy before, and now with this reorganization, I can see a lot of my books better, and I can display them better, and I can appreciate them more. So I feel like it just looks so much cleaner, so much less cluttered, and additionally, the space just looks bigger and brighter with the way we've rearranged it. I feel like it really opened it up, having shelves on both sides instead of having a huge dark wraparound. So I'm really happy with this rearrangement, and I think I'm going to keep it this way for a few months until I have too many books read that need to be somehow incorporated in. But yeah, I'm hoping to read a bunch of the books from this shelf over here, these shelves I guess, over here this year, so I can transfer them to those shelves over there. But we'll see how 2026 goes. I think it's going to be a big year of reading and books for me, so I'm really excited. But yeah, that is my home bookshelf tour. Let me know what you guys think. And with that, I wanted to pop in here and say thank you guys so much for watching this video. I would love to know how often you guys reorganize your home library. Do you do it often like me, or do you do it very rarely? Do you leave space for your new books, or do you kind of just shove them in as you go? I'm very curious because I feel like I have to reorganize it every 3 months, so every quarter of the year, just to keep things looking nice and fresh and not messy. But yeah, I'm curious to know how often you guys reorganize your library. Let me know down below, and I will be back in a couple days with the next one. I'm really excited for 2026 because we're going to have so many good videos coming up. I can't wait. I hope you guys are having a fabulous start to the new year, and I hope you guys are reading some really good books. Live well, read some books, my friends, and go discover.